Archie's starting a shirtless boys fight club and spreading his red circle around the south side of Riverdale.
Tony, Kevin, Betty, and Juggy are cracking codes.
And Ronnie continues to be the world's most supportive girlfriend, as her parents are plotting some kind of chaos in the town.
And Betty is getting fan mail.
It's Season 2, Episode 4 of Riverdale, The Town That Dreaded Sundown.
Hi, I'm Ashley.
And I'm Chelsea.
And we're here to talk about the newest episode of Riverdale.
Lots going on. Let's jump in with our favorite parts. What would you start off with, Ash?
Oh, that serial killer shot. Okay, I absolutely loved that serial killer montage when Jughead pulls out the book at the library and the serial killer appears in the next shot. It was beautiful and like so poignant. I loved it.
It was so good. It kind of made me regret that this wasn't the Halloween episode of Riverdale. Like, that's awesome when you're cutting in and you see Zodiac in one bookshelf, see the axe murderer of New Orleans in another one. It's such a nice, creepy little thing that really kind of helps build the masked man in Riverdale. Mm-hmm. Like, it's helping to build that mythology and make him seem kind of freaky. And I would say, like, as a true crime junkie, I loved the shout-outs we got this week. So, like, as a true crime junkie, I was just dying with some of the awesome references we got this episode. Like, we have little shout-outs to, like, Ed Gein, Zodiac, and Eileen Wuornos. Those were nice little, like, tidbits where, like, you know your audience. I appreciate it.
I love that it like added so much to like Tony's narrative too and like who she is as a character. That was pretty cool. Okay, what were other faves in this episode?
I like the parents actually acting like actual parents.
Jesus Christ, right? Like the first time they're actually saying, okay, of course you have like Veronica's parents saying you cannot date that boy, which is a little
normal reaction.
Mm-hmm.
If your boyfriend has, one, made you go get a gun that he's hidden at your school, 2, started a shirtless boys club that's borderline neo-Nazis, 3, trying to start a turf war with like a known gang in the South, maybe it's time to move on.
Yeah, I'm with her parents on that one. Like, they might be crazy, conniving people, but they're right in this situation. You never want to get to the place where the lodges are in the right.
Too many red flags. Like, good job for you, lodges. Only good thing you did this episode.
Mm-hmm. And also, Betty's mom. Damn, that was like, she was like, and you make me out to be the bad guy, and slams on the table? That was fantastic.
I love it. Like, I love the fact that she's kind of going like, yeah, I may seem kind of shitty, but it's because I'm looking after you, Betty. Mm-hmm. Like, I want to look after you and your sister because I'm your mom. Mm-hmm. I love that. It feels personal and it feels real. And Fred. Fred seems like the most normal guy on earth. He seems like a real parent.
I mean, he's always a good dad, and so like that's like a usual thing, and the other two are usually totally crazy. But yeah, he's always such a good dad.
I love it when he calls out Archie when Archie's like, oh, they kicked me out of school because I brought a loaded gun to school.
And granted, they didn't know that, but he is behaving irrationally, so something like that's bound to come up, and Fred is dealing with that, you know, in an appropriate way, I think.
With the Fred, like when he calls out Archie to be like, I'm scared of you right now. Like, I understand why they're scared of you. I'm scared of you. I get it, I got shot, but I'm not scared of the killer. I'm scared of you because you're acting like a crazy person.
Exactly.
Like, that's a dressing down a dad needs to give sometimes.
Yep.
And like, just speaking of Archie being crazy and maybe needing multiple people to talk to him, that fight him and his boys get in with the serpents in the rain, gorgeous.
It was really gorgeous. Like, it was shot, I loved the shots that were like full motion and then went into slow motion when a hit was being laid. Like, that was really cool.
I love it. It's what Riverdale does best. It's kind of super campy, but it just leans into it. Like, it's like a razor's edge, mm-hmm. where it could get kind of stupid and kind of like a 90s drama. And it rides it just right with just the right cuts and just the right lighting and just perfect and fun and awesome. Mm-hmm. And I love how it ends with a gunshot from Veronica.
Mm-hmm. And her little raincoat.
I love her little raincoat.
It's adorable.
It's such a weird, like, it's so pretentious.
But it's so Veronica.
It's so cute. What else stood out to you in the episode?
I really liked that the little crypto party.
I love that when they're breaking the code for the killer, Betty has received this ominous letter, and she's the only one who can crack the code to figure out who is the killer and why he's killing people in Riverdale. It's awesome, and it's cute seeing them study.
Mm-hmm. Although I really like the dynamic that Tony, Kevin, Juggy, and Betty all have, because like it's quite a dynamic that they have. Because you know, there's two that are serpents that were raised, you know, not as good as the other two, and so you kind of see them clash together, and I thought that was really interesting.
I love the snide comments that Tony keeps making at Betty. Like, I feel like there's maybe gonna be a little bit of a breakup between Betty and Jughead, because even in the letter, you find out they're kind of going their different ways. He's already trying to crack the code with Tony, and Betty has only told Kevin that she received a note saying the killer's killing because of her. Like, you see these little fissures. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
But I have to say, Betty is so trusting. Oh my god. If I was dating someone who was doing that stuff, I already started with Tony. Yeah, I'm hanging out with Tony. I'd be like, bitch, no.
She's so chill. Like, she's so chill. I gotta say, best line of the night goes to Tony when they're at their little letter, like their code cracking party. And Tony's like, you know, maybe if you just loosened your ponytail. When she says that to Betty, and Kevin's like, her ponytail is classic. It's perfect.
It's iconic.
Like, I love it.
Yeah, that was sassy. But you know what? You could totally tell she's trying to fight Betty on some stuff.
You know, she's like trying to get in there. Don't blame the girl. They're in high school. You don't have to, you know, play the field. You're allowed to.
Exactly. And Juggy's cute.
It was not a perfect episode. We did have like minor complaints about it. What should we start off with, Ash?
I'm gonna say that Ronnie is still dating Archie.
I don't understand. Like we detailed earlier, like he made her get a loaded gun from high school. Like, I'm sorry, girl, you dump him when he does that. You try and be supportive and you make your cute little like red circle tops to be like, no, I'm gonna support you because you're my boyfriend. And he's a little bitch about it? Dude, no.
Okay, a loaded gun from a toilet in the boys' washroom.
Why are you with him? I don't understand.
Stop doing things for this boy.
Like, there's...
What nice thing has Archie done for Veronica?
We've discussed this in the past. Their relationship is going for walks and talking.
Yeah.
Because there's no substance... Oh, and shower sex. But there's no substance to their relationship. So episodes like this just, again, make me go, Ronnie, run. Run before this boy, like, shoots you.
He's not reciprocating any of
No.
the affectionate, wonderful things that she's doing for him. And it doesn't seem fair. And I get, you have patience in relationships. This is too much patience, Ronnie. Too much patience.
And the fact that he'll get angry and throw the nice things that she does in her face.
Yeah.
Like, that's not okay. When she does something nice, you reciprocate. You say thank you. You don't go, well, I didn't ask you to do that. No. But be a polite gentleman and say thank you. The circle. I both love and hate this plot because it's so goddamn stupid.
But it's so Archie.
Like, so when he's drawing, he's such a badass when he's down on the south side drawing his circle. And then he pulls a gun on Serpent as he's drawing his stupid circle.
Who made the mistake? You, Archie.
Like, I'm not feeling the circle. Like, it makes me hate Archie that much more. And I did not buy when the Bulldogs came to Archie's house to be like, nah, bro. You got us. We're in the circle. We got you. Why?
Yeah. What did Archie do to instill trust in them?
There's nothing that changed from the locker room to that moment. And it just feels like it's kind of there to give Archie something to do. And it's not the interesting storyline.
It honestly is so Archie wouldn't get murdered by those serpents right then, right there.
They were like, we just need to do something to make this work.
And also, why would the serpents go there if he had a gun?
Yeah. Where was his baseball bat? I just remembered his stupid baseball bat. Why did he not bring that to his, his fight?
Oh, right. It was no weapons. That was the rule. Okay. It was the serpents that broke that rule, though. Because they have to keep emphasizing that the serpents are shitty, even though, honestly,
it's Archie.
They've been right most of the time this episode.
Well, I love it. Even, like, to jump back to Tony. When she's saying, like, yeah, you bitch about drugs down in Southside, but it's you guys in the North who are buying them.
Yeah.
It's like that double standard, the class system in Riverdale. Mm-hmm. It's not a good town.
No, it doesn't seem like it.
It'll be interesting to see where they carry forward with the circle. Because, like, I feel like we could drop it now that they've had their little fight. And, like, let's see them team up with the serpents. Y'all in danger. Y'all need to fight back.
Yeah. Although it'll probably come to, like, one more kind of big climax of clashing, and then they'll all come together.
And then this is something we got to think about because it's CW. We got, 22 episodes?
Oh, that's right.
And we're only on episode 5.
So it's probably going to be slow.
So, like, we'll probably have some kind of wrap up by the mid-season break. Where it's like, yo, we're gonna be a team now. And then, like, after winter break, we'll see them trying to hunt down this killer.
Though the serial killer slowed down and I'm bored.
I was kind of hoping for, like, a serial killer death at the end. Although he did call Betty. That was interesting.
That's true.
That means he has Betty's number.
Yeah. And speaking of how he has Betty's number, it wouldn't be an episode without theories.
We watch TV because we love coming up with theories. And right now, my theory for the moment is I really think the lodges are behind these murders. And I really think they're behind trying to, like, drive chaos into Riverdale the way they're pitting the South against the North. Like, it feels like they're trying to do something. And right now, just because Jughead school is in danger of being shut down, I feel like they're trying to drive down the market down in the South. And then that way they can buy up land or there's some kind of land deal. And I also think there's proof that the lodgers are behind this is because it was Archie's dad, Fred, who got shot when Mr. Lodge would have a motive to take him out. It's like the lodges are playing some role in this.
Oh, totally. It totally makes sense too, because you never see the lodge parents concerned about the serial killer.
Mm-hmm.
They're only concerned that you know, Veronica's gonna get involved with Archie's red circle thing, which is gonna put her in the line of the serial killer. They're not concerned about her, like, being around the serial killer because they haven't ordered that killing.
Well, and even then, the fact that, like, Hiram Lodge is the one that kind of incepted Archie to come up with this idea to further divide the North and the South. Like, he has a motive behind trying to make this town, like, pitting this town against each other.
Oh, it's totally Hiram.
Like, it's, you know, I'm thinking it's got to do with money. It's Hiram. So he probably wants land down in the South.
Why else would they bring Hiram back?
Oh, maybe he's trying to turn Riverdale into, like, a Hamptons.
Ooh, possible.
You know, bring in it, like, make it so it's for a certain type of person. There's another person who could be the serial killer. Who could that be?
It's Daddy Cooper. Okay, so he has similar eyebrows. He doesn't have the same hair color. But who else would know that Betty religiously took out that book as a child? And who else would know Betty's phone number?
And I feel like, you know, it's kind of like a crisis. Like, Mr. Cooper went through a lot last year. He had his, like, pregnant teenage daughter run away when her boyfriend's murdered by her dad. He found out his wife has, like, a secret son from when she was a child with the servants. Betty's going back and forth. She's disappearing at night. There's a lot going on. And I feel like it's a lot for anyone to take on. And maybe some people would crack and become a serial killer.
A murdering midlife crisis.
And a lot of times, like, serial killers start because they're triggered. And he had a number of events to trigger him last year.
Oh, and his wife almost left him, too.
So even then, get vengeance on his wife by freaking her out. And it gives her something to write about.
Oh,
So, like, there could be multiple reasons for him doing this.
Yeah, I'd like that one.
And then,
speaking of secret children, Sweet Pea is Juggy's brother.
I'm convinced. They look the same, they talk the same, they walk the same, they have the same hair. They have the same haircut, they're both serpents. Like, they look too much alike. That cannot be accidental casting. Look at how much Hermione looks like her mom.
That's totally
Like,
true.
This show knows how to cast.
They do. And they wouldn't do something like that unintentionally. Maybe they won't reveal it this year. But just keep watching, guys. Just keep watching.
Another theory we have, the possibility is the serial killer could just be messing with Betty's mom. Like, it feels like a game of cat and mouse at this point, especially because Alice is getting so cocky.
That's true.
Like, she's getting so cocky, and Betty's a good way to get at her. Like, the killer knows to send his letter to the blue and gold, so Betty gets it. He knows her phone number. He was there for her speech. Like, that's a good way to mess with Mrs. Cooper.
And he knows their address, too.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess kind of makes sense and would happen,
Small
but
town.
still, yeah. But still, it's, like, enough that you're like, yeah.
It's a little creepy.
Yeah.
And then, our final theory for the evening. I feel like Betty's gonna crack, and we're gonna get some Dark Betty. She's been going through so much. Her sister's gone. She has a serial killer sending her fan mail. She has her crazy mom. Jughead's not there when he needs her. She has Kevin, who's, like, trolling for gay sex when, like, a serial killer's around. Or she's having visions of him dying. Like, Dark Betty's gonna come out soon. She's been way too chill.
Oh, totally. Plus, Netflix did just post that that video on their Facebook page where it's like a nice little reminder of Dark Betty.
Oh!
Yeah, they were like, it's a video of Tony's introduction where she's like, oh, I was expecting Emily the Strange, and then they put the Dark Betty scene in. So I think it could happen. Like, it's a possibility, and I think we've all been begging for Dark Betty.
Yeah, so Overall, super solid episode. I'd give this 4 toilet guns out of 5 with 3 bullets to spare.
Nice. I'd agree with you on that one.
But it's not about what we think. We want to know what you think. Give us your craziest theories below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.